the Mark II that I discussed in my previous video. If you guys have not seen that video, I would highly recommend going and checking it out, just so you know about what I'm talking about here. I laid out the designs for both of these, and so it would probably be beneficial to go see what I'm talking about, but you can also stay if you want to. I'll explain as I'm going. So I'm going to make a scroll at the end, the very end of the handle portion of this hook, and then I'm going to bend it around onto itself. And then after I do that, I'm going to make the rest of the hook part that'll actually be opening the door. So once again, once I finish tapering, I'm going to take it down all four of the corners, make it into that octagon shape you always look for. And once that's over with, I will start smoothing it by hitting all of the surfaces, all of the rises and high points on the metal, until I'm satisfied with how round it is, so that I can start the scroll, which I'll be doing next to it. Alright, I'm satisfied with that, so I'm going to do a scroll here. Again, with the scroll here, I'm going to take it over the edge of the anvil and just sort of bend it a little bit and use brushing strokes to hit the scroll towards me so that it is nice and uniform. And then once you are satisfied with your scroll, you can just leave it at that, and I'm going to begin the bend of the handle now. Got to be mindful of which side I want the scroll on, and I want it on the outside of the handle. Therefore, I'm going to be conscious of that when I begin the bend of the handle, which I was, so it should turn out on the right side. And I'm going to have to heat up this section next to do the bend properly. Once again, using the horn as my bending template. I have the bend complete here. The next thing I want to do is heat it up right at this intersection where the scroll meets the rest of the stock, so that I can bend it around so that the shaft is directly beneath the widest part of this scroll instead of being off to one side. There we go. I cooled off the scroll and the rest of the handle bend so that I didn't deform it when I bent it around. It seems to have been successful, so I'm going to move on to cutting it off roughly around here and begin to make the rest of the hook. You only need the steel to be marginally hot to cut it. In fact, I've pretty often just cut this mild steel cold. You're on the risk of doing something like that. This method, that's the only unfortunate part. I will probably have to clean up the face of my hammer and this cutting tool now, but that's okay. The hammer, for one, needs it anyway. It's my cutting hammer, so I use it to cut with all the time, and I've fixed up that cutting tool many times, but I've only ever fixed up that hammer once or twice, so it probably needs a refacing anyway. So I'm going to begin to think about how long I want this to be and what I want to do at the end there. I think I have an idea of how I want to accomplish. So essentially what is going to occur here is this is going to take a 90-degree bend, and at the very end I want to have like a little protrusion coming down this way. So it's going to bend and at the very end come down that way. I think what I'm going to do is isolate just a little bit of that stock on the end there with a bit of a taper. I'm not going to make it too thin though, because I don't want it to snap or anything like that. Not that I think it will, but better safe than sorry. Then I'm going to re-round the shaft here. I'm going to round this back out. So again, I'm just rounding out this extra piece, this taper that I made here before I do the bend. Alright, next comes the bend. I'm going to bend it over here. The reason why the bend looks so long right now is because here in a second I'm also going to bend this back down, like so, and spread it out. And this bend also needs to come back more. Don't know exactly how I'm going to accomplish that though. Probably just do it over the horn here. Alright. I'm going to run it through the Scotch-Brite wheel, and then I will show you guys the finished product. So here's the resulting Mark II COVID-19 safety hook, and then for reference, this is the Mark I that I made in last video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and please subscribe. And let me know which one you guys would want to use, the Mark II or the Mark I. Thanks. See you on the next one.